Hi, I'm Ian Caso, publisher of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and welcome to Winning-stl, where we have conversations about how St. Louis can best compete and win in the battle for talent, jobs, growth, and equity. Winning-stl is sponsored by the Hartford Small Business Insurance. Today, I'm at City Park, St. Louis's new state-of-the-art soccer stadium with Marc Schreiber, president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. The Sports Commission is focused on attracting and managing sporting events for the St. Louis region. And some recent wins include the 2021 U.S. Olympic Team Trials in Gymnastics and the American Collegiate Hockey Association National Championship in 2022. In full disclosure, I'm a member of the Sports Commission Board of Directors and an unabashed supporter of their work. With that said, I'd like to welcome Marc Schreiber. Marc, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, Ian. It's great to be here.
Tell me what the Sports Commission does and why the work is important.
Sure. Our mission is to make St. Louis, the St. Louis region, a better place to live, visit, work, and play through sports. And how do we go about doing that? The primary way is going out and attracting, creating, and managing major sporting events for the St. Louis region. And it's all with the idea of trying to drive economic and social benefit for our community. We want to be an entity that can be out there and kind of carve a niche, do something that no one else is doing, and bring vibrancy and energy and excitement and growth to St. Louis.
So tell me about some of, I know I mentioned a couple of the wins. Tell me some of the wins that that you think have really stood out to you, that are really have made a difference and will continue to make a difference in St. Louis.
Sure, and the Sports Commission goes back to 1989, so it's got this long track record of success that we're very proud of, and that our community can be quite proud of. And some of the familiar things, the big wins people know of are like the men's and women's Final Fours, high-profile NCAA championships, the NCAA wrestling championships that have been a frequent stop in St. Louis, the SEC championship. I think one of our most recent ones is to be able to land the Missouri versus Memphis football game and what's being called the Mizzou to the Lou series, which over the next year, we're going to host a whole series of University of Missouri athletic events in our community. To put ourselves on the map as a premier destination of these high-level sporting events is so positive for our region. Being an Olympic host and one of only 3 U.S. cities to host the Summer Games, the first Summer Games in America, that's a big deal for us. And so we can get a lot of wins out of that as well.
Right. It's making sure you're capitalizing on the things about your past that are interesting and relevant.
Exactly.
And I think that's important.
Yeah. And another one that I would want to highlight is the Musial Awards, which, sort of is a little different from the typical event that we would go out and bid on. But the Musial's another example of a place that we can call our own, that there's no city in America that puts on an event like we do that celebrates sportsmanship in America and, of course, honors Stan the Man. And here we are, have been able to grow that event from something that just started in a hotel ballroom that now fills the 3,000-seat Stiefel Theater and is on national TV, televised across the country by CBS. Throughout the broadcast, it's making that connection that St. Louis is the home of this endeavor. And again, putting St. Louis's best foot forward to our country.
Do you find that St. Louis is frequently competing with certain types of cities? And what have you learned from that?
I think over the last couple decades, you've seen a lot of communities around the country recognize the impact and the value that hosting sporting events can have, whether it's major events or youth sports. It's places like Nashville and Indianapolis, our friends over in Kansas City, San Antonio. So a lot of those sort of mid-market tiered cities are really in the hunt for the similar events that we go after. The other city that has come on of late, Las Vegas. Now they're in the mix, and that's stiff competition for us.
What would you like to see the St. Louis region invest in?
Yeah.
And could be anything, could be directly related to your efforts to bring events in, but you're a St. Louis resident. I know you're born and raised here and proud of the place. What would you like to see us invest in?
You know, it's important to invest in our neighborhoods and invest in downtown. And I come back to one of the things that we struggle with in St. Louis is often things are an either or, and we need to do more to be an and community to try to accomplish multiple things. And so in terms of the question of where do we need to invest, I think it's critically important that we invest in communities that have been underinvested previously. So North St. Louis.
Okay.
The only way we're going to strengthen downtown St. Louis is if the surrounding areas are also strong as well. From a competitive standpoint, though, we need investment in downtown St. Louis too. We need to compete with our peers and make this a destination that is attractive for these events to take place and the rights holders to place their events here.
For sure. Seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to overstate sports' importance
Right.
relative to the many challenges we have. But I think sports is an area also where we do it really well in St. Louis. And there's opportunities for us to use sports as a model to spring us ahead.
Marc, thank you so much for coming. It's been really interesting talking to you and listening to all the things that the Sports Commission is doing to push St. Louis forward. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been great. I appreciate the invitation to be part of it.